Hello everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do this show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, the ETFs, the meme season, the not so meme season, the altcoin season, you know, the coins and stuff like that. So what we're gonna talk about today is the ETFs. Of course, everybody expecting ETFs, and I think I just read a little bit earlier today, I cannot find the tweet, but the ETFs have been postponed until No, that was something else. But ETFs, we are expecting ETFs very, very soon. And there are a couple of ideas I have about ETFs that I want to talk about. So also we're going to talk about the Bitcoin price. It's hit, you know, technically 46K. The question is whether it's going to go through the roof, break the resistance, the blue box here at the top, and continue going towards the upside. We're also going to talk about a little bit about Jim Cramer, because Jim Cramer is right now bullish. We're going to look at DXY, and you know, that's that. We're just going to, you know, have a nice time. It is, you know, New Year 2024, and I hope everybody had a nice New Year and Christmas and everything else. And right now, you know, it's back to business. So how is everybody doing in the chat? Cryptoras, good morning, how you doing, man? Christopher Nikirk, morning all, may the new year be great for y'all. The Greenish Goblin is in the chat. Yo TL, what's up? What's up, TL? Greenish Goblin. Dr. Karlov, morning TLA. How you doing, man? Hope you have a nice time surfing, man. It's really, really cold in Norway. And you know, today is -10, but in a couple of days they are saying it's gonna be like -20 here. So, you know, it needs to get worse before it gets better, as they say. Freunad Tolstoyns, oh snap, it's been a while, but you know, we are back in business, so you know, there's that. Good morning, Dex, how you doing, man? Hamza, missed this song, yeah, it's a nice song, so we're gonna continue doing the same song over and over again for the rest of 2024 and 25 maybe, so that is that. David, hey Tiela, morning, how you doing? Dark Pingu is in the chat, can you look up Uniswap? I don't know about Uniswap, man. Pringles, bullish. And there is that. That's the chat, guys. Not many people here, 18 people watching. That's nice. It's enough people. Only the good guys in the chat. My water is 5 degrees. If that doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Yeah. Cold water. But you are on top of the water, so you know, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, guys. Okay, so where are we gonna start? Are we gonna start with Bitcoin? I'm gonna start with Jim Cramer. Let's check out what Jim Cramer had to say. Jim Cramer just came out and said Bitcoin is here to stay, so listen to this.
This thing is, you can't kill it. And the late Charlie Munger, who was...
You can't kill Bitcoin, guys. You can't kill Bitcoin. Jim Cramer just turned bullish after being bearish for a very, very long time. Of course, he turns bullish at 46K. I mean, it was kind of expected that, you know, this guy will turn bullish eventually. And, you know, most people are like this, you know, they wait for the, you know, signs of, you know, confirmation. And when confirmation comes in, it's pretty much over. But, you know, then they turn bullish. Now, you might say that, you know, we should be trading inverse Cramer and, you know, shorting the market. But I'm a little bit unsure about that. Batch is in the chat. How you doing, man? What's the deal with ETF? Every channel is pumping news hard. Yeah, we're gonna talk about ETF. I got a couple of nice charts, and we're gonna talk about that. So we're gonna talk about ETFs in a second. But Jim Cramer is turning bullish, and the big question is, are we gonna turn bullish? Now, I've been thinking lately, you know, I'm always thinking, guys. I'm always thinking. Not actually good thinking, but you know, I'm always thinking about something. If you reverse what Cramer did in 23, you must be more up than 200% up. Exactly. So I've been thinking a little bit about ETFs, about the news, about how people react to the markets, you know. And if you remember, not so long ago, when we started talking about ETFs, my very first thought is, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? And when that happened, I told everybody that, you know, until ETFs get launched, it's very, very bullish. But as soon as they get launched, it's gonna be sell the news event. I still think that might be the case, but I also think that might not be the case. I'm gonna show you the reason for that. But whether that's the case or not, we should not be thinking like that. And I think I've come to the realization that charts is everything we need. If you remember, we've been watching the moons a lot, you know, full moon, new moon, pump moon, dump moon, super moon, not so super moon, micro moon. Which moon is correct? The dates, you know, 14 October, 4th of December, you know, blood moon, blue moon, this moon, that moon. And sometimes these moons work out, sometimes they don't work out. We've been big on the moons, and also we've been big on the dates, and I'm not the only one who had the dates. Like 14 October, down here on the dollar, 14 October, where is the 14 October? Right down here, I know, 14 October. This was actually the dump date, guys. This was the dump date. 14 October was the dump date. So even though the date was correct, it was correct in opposite direction. Now, that said, we can understand with pretty much, you know, high degree of certainty that there are definitely, you know, reasons why dates have some kind of meaning to them. So this was the 14 October, but you can also see down here, 1st of January, exactly on the dollar, was the time we started this, you know, move towards the 46k from all the way from down, you know, from 16k. So dates have importance. So we understand that dates have importance. Whether that's 4th of December, the dump date in previous bull market, whether that's 14 October that was supposed to be a dump date, whether that's, you know, 1st of January and, you know, start of the new year, or, you know, 31st of December, end of the year. So dates have importance, the moons have also importance, and also the news have importance, like ETF news. Now, the trick isn't actually knowing what has importance, the trick is actually figuring out whether that's actually a good thing or a bad thing. And here comes my new realization about these things, is that we should stop worrying about whether the price is gonna go up or down. We should try to analyze whether ETFs are a good or a bad thing for us, right? We should stop trying to analyze whether some moons are a good or bad. If you have a date, you have a date. But it does not mean that, you know, it's gonna go up or down. And the reason we should stop doing that is because the entire world is doing the same thing for us. We know that the charts tells everything what's happening in the market, because I think it's gonna go up, so I go long. You think it's gonna go down, so you go short. Somebody's selling, somebody's buying. People already have ideas about whether that is a good thing for us or a bad thing for us, right? But what's happening is on the chart is charts are actually reflecting the exact same thing that we are actually trying to figure out. So up here we are right now coming to these ETFs, and, you know, we are trying to predict. One guy, me, one guy, you, one guy, somebody else is trying to predict for themselves whether that's a good or bad thing. Now they of course have a 50-50% chance of being right. But why should we try to predict something? I mean, we could be right, we could be wrong, but it's easier to watch the charts and look at what the market as a whole is actually thinking. So if the market as a whole is thinking that, you know, something is good, you will see it on the charts. You will see bullishness in the charts. If the market as a whole is seeing something bearish, you will see it in the charts, right? So only thing we have to focus on is the charts. Whether the charts are bullish or bearish. And right now, the charts are telling us that we are, you know, even though we are at 46k, you know, this over here does not look like a top to me. So there just might be a chance that the ETF news are not actually dump the news kind of event. Over here, you will see the chart of gold. Somebody posted it on Telegram, not Telegram, on X, and I cannot find the chart again or the post, but, you know, I did copy this and post it on Telegram. And I think this is interesting because the first gold ETF listed on New York Stock Exchange, SDPR gold shares, was right up here on 4th of November 2004. And after that, we had a major rally towards the upside. Is this gonna be the same kind of, you know, event again for ETFs? I do not know. So we are still watching the chart, but the chart looks you know, almost the same like, you know, Bitcoin chart right now. It had some kind of top, went down all the way down into the capitulation, and then it started slowly going towards the upside. ETFs got launched and it just exploded above the resistance towards the upside. The same thing might happen again to, you know, over here right now. We had some kind of top up here, we went down to the bottom, we slowly climbed up to the ETFs, and after the ETFs we just do the move towards the upside. I mean, that's very, you know, very realistic case for Bitcoin. We just, you know, bounce towards the top up here towards the upside. I mean, we don't have to dump. The pullbacks we can have. I'm not saying we can have, but we are not gonna have another one of these moves over here. I don't believe, you know, this is some kind of, you know, top of the market kind of event where we pull back down to 20 or 15k or anything like that. I said before, if you watch my last video recap of the new year, it's a pretty long video. It's like 1 hour plus video, and for guys that, you know, already know, they think how to do TA and stuff like that, it's not really interesting to watch. But, you know, there might be gold nuggets here and there. And, you know, for guys that that already have established, you know, some kind of mastery in whatever they are doing, they are no longer looking for, you know, to be taught everything, but they are looking for gold nuggets. So there might be some gold nuggets here and there. But in that video, I talked that, you know, you know, these dumps towards downside were 20% dumps. And right now we haven't had a 20% dump, so we could have like 20, 30 or even 40% dump towards downside over here, or maybe a little bit higher up here. But as the volatility increases, we go higher and higher, the dumps will become larger and larger. And this is just, you know, normal moves, as you see, we'll see in the previous bull market up here. You know, the dumps are small and they get larger and larger towards upside. Why? Because, you know, you go higher and then the dumps becomes larger, more volatility, you know, more people following in, more people, you know, fear selling and stuff like that. So the dumps become larger and larger. So that is the case. But are we gonna have one of these, you know, major corrections towards downside where we go into another bear market? I just don't see that. I just don't see that. And over here, there was some whale wire that posted a chart of CME futures. And if you remember, we talked always before about CME futures went live up here at the top. And CME futures expired here at the bottom, so it went all the way towards downside. But imagine the case where CME futures did not get launched. What would happen then? If CME futures didn't get launched up here at top, it would still have gone towards downside. Why? Because this is parabolic move. What else is gonna happen after a parabolic move? Even if nothing happens after a parabolic move, it would have still gone towards downside. Maybe not 3k, maybe not, you know, maybe only 6k, I don't know, but it would still have gone towards downside, right? So just because something launches does not mean that that's actually bad or good for us. We still look at the charts. Doesn't matter whether this, you know, CME futures got launched over here or not. When you see this parabolic move up here towards the upside, you sell. Doesn't matter what line. Like, what did people thought? CME futures is gonna launch and it's gonna go from 20k to 100k. I mean, there is always, you know, probability for that, but it sounds a little bit unlikely. This was a very, very violent parabolic move towards the upside in 2017. So the only reasonable, you know, idea when it did that is it's gonna go and pull towards downside. Now we don't have the parabolic move just yet. We don't have any kind of, you know, blow off top. We don't have actually anything over here. Not only that, we had actually a very nice channel up here that we broke towards downside. Right now we consolidating up here. We had some kind of, you know, triangle up here that we right now broke towards upside up here, sitting out here at 46k. But I don't see any kind of, you know, topping out pattern. I don't see head and shoulders pattern. I don't see any exhaustion pattern. I don't see any big extensions towards the upside. This is on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame is, you know, it pulled back, it pulled a little bit up here. I'm gonna show you up here. This is my own indicator down here. It pulled a, you know, we had extensions all the way up here, and then during this consolidation right now it pulled back. So there are no overextensions. On the RSI we are a little bit high at 76, but you know, up here at the previous top, once we hit the first 43, 44k up here, we are at 82 in the RSI. So there is nothing right now that's telling us on the weekly time frame that we are overextended, that we are having some, you know, 90, 100 levels of RSI. Yes, the RSI is a little bit high, but not that high, right? Not only that, if you look here on the MACD up here, MACD still continue towards downside. There is a little bit, you know, movement, you know, loss of momentum up here towards downside. But this loss of momentum is just, you know, happening during this consolidation. You are not actually pumping towards the upside where you are losing momentum, which would actually be very, very bad. Momentum loss and move down in the RSI while you are consolidating is a very normal thing to do, and you can actually draw very, you know, very strong conclusion out of that. But what we can say is that there is no topping out pattern right now. So even though we believe that right now we are coming to this first resistance level, and even though we believe that this might be some kind of top before the next move towards downside up here or pullback or something like that, we have already been consolidating for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks up here. Almost a month's time we've been around 44k level. So saying that this is gonna pull back for whatever reason right now, it doesn't make any sense. Like over here we could have pulled back up here a little bit towards downside, and even now that might be the case. But the longer this actually, we are just you know, zigzagging up here. Now there is the, you know, RSI divergence up here at the top, and you can see it, you know, RSI is going towards downside up here, this is going towards the upside, momentum is going a little bit towards downside, this is going a little bit towards the upside. We could be a little bit, you know, picky and say that this is a little bit bearish, but if this just continues to pump towards the upside, the RSI divergence will be eliminated up here. The momentum will again, you know, turn towards the upside up here, and everything will look normal on the indicators. So it is a little bit hard to say that, you know, this resistance is not gonna get broken, but you know, traders do what traders do. You come to the resistance, they sell, they try to short. And even I shorted the level up here. So my very first trade of the 2024 was a short on Bitcoin. Yes, guys, that is correct. I shorted the bull market. The very first thing I did is shorting the bull market up here. I shorted the Bitcoin. Where did I short Bitcoin up here? Up here. Let's go to 1 hourly time frame up here. It was a very fast short. So up here we came to some kind of top. I shorted up here and I closed my short over here. So I was in profit, guys. $5 in profit after fees. So you know, you gotta pay fees when you buy, you gotta pay fees when you sell. And after fees, I was $5 in profit, which for me was a very nice trade. Now that said, the reason I closed my, you know, my short position is because this move towards downside did not play out well. It was not just, you know, dumping as I was expecting it to dump. It went, as you can see up here, a little bit higher towards the upside. A couple of times it pulled back, but it's still not dumping just yet towards the downside. And these are very, very small time frames, and it might actually be the case that it's going to pull back eventually, but we are not going too much into these very, very small time frames. But we are doing this move towards the upside, towards the resistance level up here, and you can see up here, over here we hit some kind of, you know, 45.9 level up here. Was that 45.879? On some other exchanges this was a little bit higher, 45.950 or something like that, right? But give or take, we are at 46k levels right now, and the big question is whether this is gonna play out. There are a couple of bearish things that can actually play out, even though this was a triangle over here. And there was, you know, it was just, you know, exploded into this exhaustion pattern up here, impulsive move into exhaustion pattern, broke the exhaustion pattern towards upside, consolidated over here, and right now it's breaking again towards upside up here. This move, exactly this move up here, is the exact move as oftentimes does happen before we actually have a big dump. So what often happens, you have an impulsive move, you start curving towards downside, and once you create this distribution phase up here, you pump one more time above these levels to, you know, get all of these people that are shorting this move up here, get them out, and then you pull fast towards downside, then break the support, and then you pull back. So is this the case that's happening right now? And this is the bearish case for Bitcoin right now. Regardless of what's happening with the ETFs and everything else, we came up here with impulsive move towards upside. We consolidated up here, right now breaking the resistance up here. All of these people shorting these levels up here right now, closing their positions up here because they think, you know, we're gonna go even higher than that. So right now we can definitely pull back, and that is the bearish case when we look at the charts. And when we look at, you know, what might happen next up here, just in on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, of course, there is a slight divergence up here. There's a slight loss in momentum and stuff like that. But as soon as we get to some kind of resistance level, we need to understand that, you know, we do not actually know whether the resistance is gonna hold or not. When we get to that level, we try to figure out whether the price is still bullish or bearish, whether it's overextend or not overextend. So I'm giving it like 50% chance that we might actually break towards the upside. And the reason I'm doing that is because I try to not, you know, underestimate in the bull market, because we are, ladies and gentlemen, in a bull market. However you turn it and twist it around, this is a bull market, and the bull market should not be underestimated. That means that every dump does not dump as much as it dumps. Every dump is a buying opportunity. And every time you think you are bearish, you are actually bullish, right? The same thing that goes inside the bear market happens in the bull market as well. When you're going towards downside bear market, every pump is a dump, every pump is a pullback, every move up is a pullback towards downside, right? The same thing happens in the bull market. Every dump is a pump, every dump is a chance to buy, every move down is a buying the dip opportunity, right? Every time you think it's gonna go again towards downside, just continues higher towards upside. So I try not to underestimate the bull market this time. I'm trying to be a little bit more bullish than I should, then it's good for me. But I'm trying to figure out where the next, move towards downside is gonna come. So what needs to happen for us actually for actually become, bearish over here? And that's this triangle needs to again to break again back inside. Whether this is a triangle or channel doesn't matter. It goes something like this up here. So I'm looking for this, as long as we are above this channel over here right now towards the upside, I'm gonna remain bullish. And if we for whatever reason should come back inside over here into the channel, I'm gonna become a little bit bearish. So that's gonna be below something below right now, below 44k. So if you see price going below 44k, you know that short truly TLA has become a little bit bearish in the short term. In the long term, we're still looking at 2025, nothing has changed. And we are still believing that this is gonna go towards 2025 bull market top eventually, right? Let me find a nice chart up here. And let me go to the logarithmic chart over here. And again, there is literally nothing again on the charts that are telling us that 4-year cycles are for whatever reason not playing out. It is on the dollar, a 4-year cycle. Everything is playing exactly as it did before. Not exactly on the dollar, but the bottoms are bottoms, accumulations are accumulation, distribution phase are distributions, the FOMO is the FOMO. People's psychology does not change. Bitcoin, how Bitcoin works, the code is not changing. I mean, they're changing a little bit code here and there, but it's still working. Halving are still going on the dollar every single year, and the next halving is gonna come in 4 months. That's another thing I want to talk about, halvings. And the next halving is very, very close, guys. Very, very close. So we are having a halving around April, March, give or take. January, February, April, March. So 3-4 months left until the halving, guys. And if you look at the charts, like last time, you gotta go back pretty far back up here in 2016 to see that. So let's go up here, halvings. And what you're gonna see here, halving events. You can see that we pumped all the way until halving. After the halving, actually pulled back a little bit down. But, this was generally just a, parabolic move towards the upside. Which this as well might go into the halving up here and then have a pullback down here. But it will still be a parabolic move towards the upside. But again, it ends sometimes in 2025. So I'm becoming more and more believer of a parabolic move towards the downside. And again, like I said in the recap New Year's video, the trend is your friend and the trend is still not broken. Depends on how you draw the trend and how you draw the lines. But as long as the trend is not broken, and we will have some kind of pullback up here eventually, right? So we can go a little bit more high up and then pull back towards downside. But as long as the trend gets high, faster and faster towards upside, this is by definition a parabolic move towards upside. Although it goes slowly at first and fast later. You know what they say? Slow at first, then all at once. Slow at first, then all at once. And that's usually how it happens. It goes very slow at first, slow at first and then all at once, right? At the end. And that's how parabolic moves happens on the charts. So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin right now. And there are so many things. There are always so many things up here. Let me show you another thing up here on the chart. I know there are a lot of lines, but most of these lines are not actually very important. Up here, let me show you a little bit, the targets up here. This up here is 200% move towards the upside. So we can definitely and it's major resistance, 200% move towards the upside. There is a psychological level and stuff like that. Of course, we can right now pull back towards the downside. But I was thinking if the top up here is around 90k, and we pull back down to 30k now. What is it? 90k. Give or take 30k. If we can pull down to 30k again towards downside over here, we just might have another 200k move towards the upside. And I'm a big believer in these X's and that, you know, 100% moves, 200% moves and stuff like that. So, you know, that definitely, you know, plays my, you know, my tune up here, back down to 30k and then move again towards the upside eventually, right? I still think, you know, based on some kind of psychological analysis, that we need to move back towards downside a little bit, because we need to get, you know, all of these people that FOMO'd in out of the market again and then pump towards the upside. And then a couple of new people in the chat. Let me just read the chat. Vlad, we just fell out of the rising expanding wedge with apex at 40k. Rising expanding wedge. I have not seen the rising expanding wedge. Oh, you mean this big one? Oh, that might be the case. Let's check that out. Nice find. So, rising expanding wedge. This is the rising expanding. So, we looked this as, you know, two patterns, but it just might be a one pattern up here. And that's also a bearish pattern up here. So if you look at something like this up here and call this expanding musical instrument, I'm assuming he's talking about this one. Not this one. Give or take. I'm assuming he's talking about this one. This would have been bearish. Maybe it is bearish. It goes something like this up here. Maybe a little bit down here. Apex at 40k. 30k, 40k apex. What? It starts over here. How do you start over here? I don't know. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I absolutely no clue what you're talking about, though. If it's expanding musical instrument, then it's something like this, right? But the fact that we are not actually hitting these, you know, bottoms down here is actually very, very good. This is actually very bullish. If this expanding musical instrument, right? If this expanding, you know, wedge up here, and the fact that we are not doing this move down here towards downside is actually very, very bullish. The fact that we are just doing this over here is actually very, very bullish. Apex at endpoint. If it's apex at endpoint, then it's not an expanding musical instrument. Then it's a wedge. If it's apex at endpoint, 40k apex. I don't know. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. You're not reading this correct. You just said we just fell out of rising expanding wedge. Rising expanding wedge is this over here. So I don't know what I'm looking at. Apex on December 30 at 40k. December 30. 40k apex. Oh, you mean this one? But it's not rising, it's descending. This over here is descending, and then you break this towards the upside, right? I even posted this in the chat up here somewhere. Let me find that. Where is images? Up here. Not this one. This one up here. Yeah, something like this. Copy. I was looking at this over here, expanding music, but it's going towards downside, not towards upside. You're too zoomed out, that's why you don't see it. Small time frame, use 1 hour. Okay, so this is over here is a 4 hour divide bit up here. This was expanding musical instrument, but it's a descending, not ascending music. You know, it's not going towards upside, it's going towards downside. And target was 44. We actually broke this actually towards the upside. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Captain is back in the chat. Happy New Year, TLA. Happy New Year, Captain. Nice to have you here. Batch. Gort, halving is buy rumor, sell the news event. It might be that as well. Can you please finish every thought today with you know what they say and some random quote? Yeah, maybe that. There was a couple of more things that I want to talk about. So we basically went over what's happening in Bitcoin right now, and doesn't matter up here if we go back below 44k, give or take. if you go back below 44k, I just might become a slightly bearish, you know, short term on Bitcoin. Short-term Bitcoin. That said, let's look more up here. We looked at it. The DXY right now, it's pulling back. And DXY, although I thought that it might actually bounce up here towards the upside, it still haven't bounced. It's still pulling back. So what I'm watching actually is none of this channel up here. I'm only watching right now on DXY, this channel over here. And I'm not gonna become bullish on DXY until we are out of the channel. So this is the channel. And until this channel breaks towards the upside, I'm not becoming bullish on DXY. So I will become bullish once this channel breaks. I won't, you know, try to call down here at, you know, oh, it's over, it's gonna go up here towards the upside. I'm just gonna wait, you know, because you never know how long these channels can actually go towards the downside. You always look at some kind of, you know, support level down here, and, you know, it hits support level in the channel after a long time. It's probably some kind of bottom, and then it breaks towards the upside. But this time around, we're just gonna wait until it actually gets out of the channel and say, okay, DXY is on the way towards the upside right now. So when you see DXY breaking towards the upside, you know, up here, maybe, just maybe, we might turn a little bit bearish on Bitcoin. Although we are not seeing any correlation between DXY and Bitcoin on the short time frames. And of course, there is altcoin season. Altcoin season has started in September, October. We've been, everything exploded big time towards the downside, upside. One of the coins that I've been extremely bullish on, unfortunately did not play out the way I actually thought it's gonna play out, was BNB. And if you remember back down here, I was very bullish on BNB. There was also so much FUD on BNB. Not only that, it fell through the support, and there was a major support level up here. There was a major support level up here on around 290 bucks. You can see down here right below 290 bucks. It fell below that accumulation zone over here and exploded towards the upside. And again, in the previous video, recap of the new year, I talked about these boxes, so you might want to check it out. It's basically once, you know, you lose the big major support level, you can see how nicely we fell through that support level, consolidated, and then, you know, moved you know, higher after that. But even though BNB lost the CEO, I don't think BNB is gonna die. And BNB is in hands of somebody else right now. I really was super bullish on BNB as long as TZ was the CEO of BNB, of Binance. Unfortunately, he's no longer CEO, so I do not believe whoever the new guy is. I'm not so bullish, and I told you before, guys, don't buy the company because of the company, buy the company because of the CEO. So always look at who the CEO is. What kind of guy is he? A visionary? Is he a creative soul? Is he some kind of guy who thinks out of the box? You know, you buy the company because of the CEO. You don't buy the company because of the company. So that's very important. So I'm a little bit less bullish on Binance and BNB after the CZ got you know, got removed. But you know, I don't still believe that, you know, it's just too big of a you know, a crypto company to fail right now. So I definitely am bullish on Binance and BNB. And the last thing I wanted to tell you about is meme season. I thought I should share some charts on meme season, but I'm just gonna do this very quick because this video is already lasts for like 44 minutes. The meme season is a time where bull market happens very fast. So in meme season there is also a bull market and there is a bear market, right? And in meme season stuff pumps like 50-100% within a couple of months, right? Within a month's time it can pump so hard, and there is of course money to be made. Of course it's very risky casino. If you think Bitcoin is risky and then think, you know, Ethereum and altcoins are riskier, and then you might think some meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba are risky. Imagine meme season being a garbage casino behind some kind of dumpster in the worst city in America. Okay, that's meme season. So there is money to be made and there is of course money to be lost, but it goes very fast. That said, just like regular season in Bitcoin and altcoin season, nobody talks about meme season when there is no meme season, right? Nobody looks at the, you know, coins when there is nothing is happening. Everybody starts FOMOing in when they see stuff pumping like 10x, 20x, 100x, right? That's when the pump starts. That's when you get these last moves. But again, you don't want to be the guy that gets into the last moves, right? You want to be the guy that gets in at the bottom, then slowly climbs towards the upside. And when everybody FOMOs in, that's when you have, you know, liquidity to sell. That's meme season. So right now, I think these coins are going down to some kind of bottom. And these bottoms can last for a long time because the meme season is not here just yet. But the fact that meme season is not here just yet might be just, you know, time to find some nice meme coins. All I'm saying. Anyways, guys, that's all I want to talk about. We talked a little bit about ETFs, about charts, about what I think about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin right now for today, it's not where is what is Binance coin? It's not as bullish as it should be, right? Of course, we drew this channel over here, something like this, but this can also be drawn something like this up here. And we are hitting the top again, right? So the channel can be also drawn something like this up here. We are still not out of the channel. And it's exhausted. And if this is the channel, then it's also, again, exhaustion pattern up here towards the upside, right? So this was an exhaustion pattern that broke up, and right now there's a bigger exhaustion pattern with more volatility that right now it's at these tops up here at the top. So whether the blue box is gonna get broken or not, if you break the blue box, I'm, you know, extremely bullish again for a next FOMO move towards the upside. But right now I'm just waiting for this pullback below 44k, give or take. And if you pull back below 44k, I become bearish again. Only by say, and it's Meme Sayan. Cheers to Damian, how you doing, man? We liked CZ, we liked CZ. CZ was a good guy. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. This was Bitcoin Daily, TA Fans Club. Enjoy the day, enjoy the new year. Don't do anything, you know, your mom wouldn't do. Like Dragon Ball Z, Saiyan. Yeah, maybe that. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Where's my outro? And I'll see you in the chat, guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy.